Hello there, YouTube. What is going on now? It's me, Gabriel here, founder of Weather Buddies Forecasting Central. I am coming up to you guys today with a U.S. weather forecast valid for 5 days. If you guys love weather-related content and you love watching weather-related forecast videos, please give the video a thumbs up, share with family and friends. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell notification icon for the latest. And also feel free to join my Discord server in the comments in the pinned comment and also the description of this video. Alright, let's get started. Alright, here we are. As of October 8th, 2022, U.S. weather forecast. A wet pattern for the southwestern United States. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty muggy across that area for a few days. So, well, that's the only highlight I have for today, so yeah. Alright, moving on to the first slide. So starting tomorrow, Sunday, October 9th, there's that wet pattern I was telling you about. Pretty much most of the rest of the country, nothing at this time. No storms, but even though there is snow starting to show up in the Canadian Prairie, and there will be some snow showing up in Colorado towards the end of the slide, despite that, there's not really much else going on outside that. The Northwest is quiet. Most of California is quiet. Not much going on there. Alright, let's move to Monday. This is where, excuse me, this is where we can see some potential snow in the Southern Rockies in Colorado. While the rest of the state of New Mexico and Arizona still experience the soggy pattern. The wet pattern down there in southern Florida, so I have to watch that and see what's going on. While the interior New England states are experiencing light to moderate showers too, which is not bad. I know there's areas across this whole area I'm circling right here that definitely need more precipitation. We're definitely going to be watching this whole area throughout the winter, to see what happens inside that circle I drew. Alright. Moving on to Tuesday, there's that soggy wet pattern still going on across the southwest and parts of Texas. Just pretty much the rest of the country is just quiet. There's not much going on except for down there in Florida. But yeah, could be potential some not severe storms, but some stronger storms developing in the Panhandle there in Texas. So I have to watch it and wait and see what that happens with that. And then this is where the pattern gets kind of bleak. So this is on Wednesday, October 12th, and we do see some indications of a storm system in that area somewhere. And let me redraw that circle there. So somewhere within this area, so the upper Midwest, in the western half of the Midwest. While there's more snow anomalies starting to show up here in the Mountain West and parts of the Rockies. Interesting to see. Also, there's a pretty powerful storm there on the forecast just showing up in Arizona there, so yeah. And again, across the rest of you guys, nothing going on. Nothing in the west, nothing in the south, nothing in the mid-Atlantic. So yeah. Alright, I believe this should be our last slide. I believe this will be our last slide. I'm not totally sure, but we do get kind of a big, huge, like I said, there's a storm system. It's actually up here in the Canadian Prairies. But there is a big storm system that's going to be developing, and it's going to create a pretty potent cold front along the Mississippi River Valley and also the Lower Red River Valley. So we have to wait and see what happens. While it's still staying soggy for the desert Southwest, and starting to be kind of out ahead of that storm there, Florida. So watch out there next week. And I believe this is my last forecast. Yep, that's my last precipitation forecast. I'm going to move on to temperature. Mostly, even though we got a cool bias over here, most of the cold weather is going to stay right there in the desert Southwest due to the muggy conditions and the soggy conditions. So there really isn't going to be much outside of this. So really, outside of that circle I just drew, it's going to be mostly above average for the rest of the 5 days. Even though we have a cool bias, there's a trough right there in the Midwest and parts of the Northeast. It's still, it's not going to last very long. So yeah. Alright, moving to some Monday, October 10th. Cool air stays here. Warm air starts to intrude most of the western half of the United States, including the Great Plains, Upper Great Plains, parts of the Lower Great Plains, and again, just a little bit of cool air left in the Mid Atlantic and Northeast. So yeah. Oh, I do want to quickly remind you my forecast. Well, actually, I'm bringing that up at the end of this video, but there you go. That cool weather runs out. It starts to go towards there, towards the northeast, and again, staying cool across the southwest due to that cloud cover and rain. While there is a massive warm up. I mean, we're talking between, let's see here, we're talking about between 6 and 12 degrees above average. Kind of pretty warm for this time of year in that part of the country. So yeah, clearing that. Yeah, so a lot of it kind of looks like El Nino-ish in this kind of condition, but it's not El Nino. I'm telling you, it's not El Nino. El Nino ain't gonna come for probably another few months. But what I'm saying is that this kind of has like characteristics of an El Nino. Cooler to the south and warmer to the north. Yeah, so. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Let me go ahead and click there. Wednesday, October 12th. And let's see what we got here. Again, still staying cool. Partly cool across the desert southwest and Mountain West. While the hot, just almost hot-like air just moves towards the east. It's going straight east. And as of right now, there is no signs of cool air up here, so there's no signs of any Arctic outbreaks yet. We'll have to keep an eye on that, though, since it's that time of year. Again, Mid-Atlantic, New England, staying right on average. Not really much cooler than that. And this is October the 13th, Thursday. Again, still cool in the southwest. Almost the whole entire rest of the country is experiencing above average temperatures. I mean, almost the whole entire country there, so that's interesting. Definitely have to watch that and see. Okay, moving on. Now I'm going to go to my forecast. I do want to disclaim really quickly, before I move on to my forecast, it looks different. I used a different type of graphic setting this time. So when you see it looks all messed up, don't mind. Just letting you know, I was having some technical difficulties trying to use the paint bucket on my paint thing. So this is what the forecast looks like. I know it looks very sloppy, but I can't use the paint bucket for some reason. I don't know what's going on with it, but so I just used a spray paint instead. Below average across the southeast and Mid-Atlantic, and the south and the southeast, while most of the center of the country experiences above average precipitation. Also could get slightly above average precipitation there in Wyoming and Montana. It's worth watching. While the Northwest stays below average temporarily, that's not going to be for too long. So don't worry, guys. Don't worry, snow lovers in the Northwest. It's not going to be for too long. It was about La Nina. But that's my 5-day precip. Here's my 5-day temperature. Again, this reflects a lot what's been going on across the U.S. This is that well above average, and the reason why, again, I did it like this is because I've had technical difficulties trying to use the paint bucket. So, and across the New England states, I did not forget you guys, I just couldn't put a B there. You guys are below average, slightly below average. Same across the southwest, southwestern Texas, slightly below average. While the rest of the country experiences above average, which is like unusual. Again, this looks like an El Nino characteristic, but it's not. It's just the way the pattern is right now. Alright, well that is my last slide. If you guys love weather-related content, you love weather forecasting videos, again, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video with family and friends, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to ring that bell notification icon for the latest updates. And last but not least, if you want to join my Discord server, feel free. It's Weather Buddies Forecasting Central. It'll be the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed. We'll talk to you later.